The RTX 4090 from Nvidia is the biggest, power-hungriest GPU on the block. I mean, surely there is no way that we could fit a GPU like this into a PC case that comes in a box like this. Is there? Well, yes, there is. The Silverstone Milo 12, its claim to fame is support for a triple slot GPU in its own cooling zone in a case that is only, now hold on just a gosh darn minute here. Wait for it, wait for it. Come on. This thin? Oh, wait, this doesn't even make it, this doesn't even compute. This is like the same thickness as the GPU. And this is the same thickness as this segue to our sponsor.
Build Redux.
Build Redux makes it easy to configure your new build with support guides to help along the way. They also offer competitive pricing as compared to building a PC yourself. So head to buildredux.com/Linus and start your new build right now.
And you're back.
I appear to have broken the box for the 4090. I mean, do not modify. I think the spirit of this was do not modify the GPU. So modifying the box seems to be fair play. I misplaced some of our RAM and SSDs, also our CPU, but I think we can find all the pieces, which means it's time for us to do a live build. How you guys doing? Happy Tuesday. I got my chats up. Where'd my chats go? Dang it. I knew something was gonna go wrong on this stream. Hey, there we go. All right, so we're gonna kick things off with our motherboard and CPU. Anthony has prepared me some nice little notes to go through with you guys while we build up what is going to be by far the most powerful small form factor gaming PC that we have ever created. We haven't done a ton of builds over the last really couple of years because, well, honestly, they've just been so unaffordable that we couldn't really recommend anything. And while they haven't gotten a ton more affordable, at least they're a lot more powerful now than they were when we were paying like over $1,000 for, you know, a 3070, which was ridiculous. So why don't we kick things off with our CPU? With the way that things have heated up in the CPU world over the last little while, pun intended, we've gotten some very hot CPUs. But what I'm referring to is, of course, the competition between AMD and Intel. We have got some really unprecedented CPU values lately. I mean, would you agree with that? Like,
should I be mic'd? Like, I feel like I should be mic'd. People are asking me to be mic'd. You just called to me. Like,
okay, well, I don't know. If Dan can get you a mic, that might be good. But yeah, we've seen some amazing values for CPUs. Like this right here is the Core i7-13700K. It's got 8 P cores, 8 E cores, so that's 8 of Intel's performance cores and 8 of their efficiency cores, and it turbos to a maximum of 5.4 gigahertz. That's not even a Core i9. That's a Core i7. That means that for just a few $100, like I think this is 418 on Amazon and B&H, you are getting Core i9 levels, actually greater than last gen Core i9 levels of performance out of one of these things, and on a platform where you can expect to have a, oh no, 13th gen is a dead platform. Well, all right then. Never mind, that was the case for a little while where Intel had the benefit of, yeah, we're gonna have future CPU upgrades, but then that went away and now AM5 is the more forward-looking one. Unfortunately, AM5, well, oh man, things are moving so fast. I was gonna say, unfortunately, AM5 has a serious cost issue right now, but then the truth is that with the recent price drops from AMD, AM5 is actually looking extremely price competitive. Now, let's take a closer look at our motherboard here. This is an ASRock Phantom Gaming, whoop, peel. Phantom Gaming IT. I'll get it later. Phantom Gaming ITX TB4, and this is absolutely jam-packed full with cool features. It's, well, the main reason we chose it for this build is that it's the only current gen ITX board that we had on hand. Good job, Anthony. But it also has 2 DDR5 slots, so you're not going to be giving up any performance. We actually have a video coming very soon where we compare DDR5 at various speeds. Plouffe worked on it, and what we found was that we included JEDEC DDR5, high-speed DDR5, very high-speed DDR5, and then for lulls, we also included a really solid kit, a 3600 megatransfer per second CL14 kit of DDR4, and found that whether it's platform maturity or whether it's evolving software loads, there's a pretty significant performance advantage to DDR5, at least on Raptor Lake. So DDR5 means we're not giving up any performance. It has a single Gen 5 PCIe 16X slot. Wait, shut up. 2 M.2 slots? So there's one under the heatsink, and yes, a second M.2 slot on the back. Are those both Gen 4? Yep. Man, they can pack a lot of motherboard into not a lot of space these days. Front USB 3 support and front USB Type-C support. How many fan headers does this bloody thing have? Okay, 3. That's a good amount, but not an outlandish amount. One addressable RGB header, which is enough because you can always split it out into a hub. Wow. That's freaking awesome. Built-in Wi-Fi 6E, and this is key, built-in Thunderbolt. Now, this Thunderbolt is not implemented in the way that I personally prefer, where there's a DisplayPort input on the back of the motherboard I/O as well, so that you can actually inject your dedicated GPU's DisplayPort into the Thunderbolt GPU or Thunderbolt DisplayPort signal output. So the way that this one will work is you will actually have to run through your iGPU if you're outputting to a display over Thunderbolt, which is sort of a bummer. There is a performance penalty there, but hey, it's got Thunderbolt, so like, what do you want? What I want is, I don't know, CPU cooler. All right, cool. So we went with the Noctua NHL12. It's pretty much the best cooler that we can fit in the case. And there's not really much else to say about it other than it's the best cooler that fits in the case. I am hoping Anthony, have you validated at all that this is actually going to be able to handle a 12700K?
Yeah, so we ran it earlier, and well, actually it's a 13700K, not a 12. Yeah, it worked okay, and also Noctua says it should work okay, but with low overclocking and turbo headroom. So there you go.
Okay, so whatever that means. Let's go ahead and make sure we do a great job of applying our thermal compound then. I am going to draw it in the shape of a balloon. Here. Thermal compound balloon. Let's go. You ready?
You got a top down.
Yeah, I have a top down?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Here, we just need a happy little balloon here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, how festive is that? It's like we celebrating gaming, folks. All right, let's go ahead and, is there a particular orientation you want for this? I'm kind of feeling that I don't have a lot of options. I'm also feeling that I should probably go ahead and actually grab the hardware for this.
I believe there is exactly one orientation that works, and I don't remember which one it was.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll figure that out then. But first, let's go ahead and pop out some of this hardware. This is Noctua's i7XX MP83 mounting kit. One of the coolest things about Noctua, it's no secret that I really love what they do. I think they're a really smart company. One of the really cool things that Noctua does is if you buy one of their coolers, yes, it comes at a bit of a premium. That much is absolutely certain. But they will actually ship you mounting adapters for your cooler for, as far as I can tell, they've just never stopped doing it. Like they don't promise a particular time frame for it, but as far as I can tell, they've just kind of quietly never stopped doing it, which I think is really amazing. It's the kind of customer support that just mostly doesn't exist in the computer industry. And I've talked about this in length on our podcast. One of the reasons for it is that most companies will go so hard on price, just trying to compete on price, that they will forget to price in the cost of good customer service. And so it's just actually not feasible for them to provide that level of service. And so it's one of those things where I kind of look at it and I go, well, I can't blame them for simply not being able to survive if they were to offer a program like that. But I also can, you know, because clearly a business can be built where you can price in good customer service and then provide it to your customers. Now, one of the things that I noticed, Anthony, is that you've provided me with a couple of 92 millimeter fans, whereas my understanding is that normally the NHL 12 has a slim 120 mil on the top and then a little assisting 92 on the bottom. Is there a reason that we've gone that route?
So, from what I can tell, I think the L12 typically only has the 92. The L12S has the slimline 120.
I see.
But the problem here is that the slimline 120, we tried it, but it won't clear the RAM and the motherboard shield properly. So you had to kind of have it at an angle. So this is more correct, I guess.
I see. And as for the orientation that we can get it in there in, this is looking extremely challenging to mount. Were you expecting this build to be a bit of a challenge for me? Was that the goal?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be tiny. That's what happens when you talk about tiny PCs, right?
I see. Okay. Well, we will manage this. So, yeah. How the devil did you... Okay, okay. So, one quick thing. Maybe we should have a look at the layout of our case here. Here, come with us for a little tour of really what was the inspiration for this video. Silverstone, every once in a while, they're a weird company, man. Every once in a while, they build something that is so cool that you look at it and you just go, I have no idea who would buy this. I really don't. But boy, is that ever cool. And this is one that's maybe not quite. I have no idea why anyone would buy it because it's really cool, but also it's just really cool. So we looked at it and we went, we need to make a video about this case. Hence the video you're watching right now. But in terms of what exactly that ends up looking like, well, the details are sort of up in the air right now. Okay, that's neat. Full-sized filters on both of these side panels. Very, very cool little details, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about dust buildup in this case. Are these easily removable though, or are they just like, these are just glued on? Okay, I can't say I'm a huge fan of that, but from a cost perspective, I can see why you might do something like that. And then over here, we're looking at one of our cooling zones, and it appears to me like we're gonna be best off if we use our 92 millimeter as an intake, because it's gonna have a fresh air supply just from the outside of the case. So that's the way we're going to orient it. Now, Anthony, I noticed that you gave me two fans. Is one of them a case fan?
No, it's just whichever one you want to use.
Oh, whichever one I like. Well, I'm gonna go with the NFA9 because I believe the B9 is a lower static pressure design, and I'm just gonna need a fan extension for this. All right, let's see then if I can figure out how to get a fan in here, because it's not obvious how I'm gonna get this in here with these screws. If they were screwed in, I think it might clear. But the problem is that the only way to screw them in is to install it on here. And as far as I can tell, that's gonna make it impossible for me to slide a fan in, let alone the clips that have to go on here. Anthony, do you have a hint for me?
I do have a hint.
You have a hint.
You can disassemble the cooler.
Oh, no. Really?
Yep.
Well, that gives me a perfect opportunity to talk, for small jobs, about our upcoming LTT stubby screwdriver. That's right, the LTT screwdriver has been such a failure, according to my haters, that we are investing even more money in this failed enterprise, developing even more tools for little jobs like disassembling your cooler so that you can manage to get a fan in between the fins and the CPU cold plate, I guess you might call it. All right, Cool. So that's going to go here. And then I'm going to want it oriented a little something like that. Yes, good. Perfect. Well, perfect's a strong word, but it's in there. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to take off both. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not my favorite design ever.
Okay.
But that's their low profile coolers for you. They had to be a little bit different in order to actually work.
I mean, I get it. Get this man a stubby. Yeah, I know. The reception to the news about the stubby has been extremely strong. It's going to be the exact same ratchet. It's going to be the exact same bits. Very similar profile in terms of the girth. But the main difference is that we're only able to fit 6 of our shorty bits, as we call them, instead of 12, but it's going to have that same pop-up bit storage that you've come to know and love from the full-size screwdriver. Man, we are working on, again, the screwdriver's been such a failure that we are working on a ton of tool products right now. One of the big requests from people has been fixed shaft drivers, because let's face it, there is no substitute for a fixed shaft driver. I get it. These appear to be 120 mil clips, Anthony?
Oh, there should be other clips there somewhere.
There should be other clips.
I guess Jake grabbed the wrong ones.
Oh, good.
Try the bin.
Try the bin. Ah, yes, good. Yeah, so we're working on fixed shaft drivers as well. And every time we start a project thinking, well, this should be super simple, right? This should be basically no work at all. We should be able to pump this thing out in like 3 months, or whatever arbitrary timeline we set for the project. We always get started and go, yeah, but it could be a little better. You know what? It could be a little better than that. You know what? I think it could be even better. And then we end up making a really great product eventually, but it takes time. Nope, there were no clips in there. I'm hoping that there will be clips in here. Oh, this is a whole additional cooler. This is an L9A? Yes, this is an L9A. Nope, this one uses screws to attach the fan. Anthony, we may not have clips.
We did.
We did. Oh,
We did.
wait, hold on. This might be the box for... No, this is an L9i. This one also uses screws to attach the fan. So there will not be any clips in there, I'm afraid.
Are there any clips like just loose in the bin?
I do not see any clips. Nope.
Well, I can go find some clips.
0 clips. No clip. We are moving through all the solid surfaces of this build. No clip. Okay, how's this even possible? Okay, hold on. Anthony, it is possible that I am dumb and these are 90 millimeter clips. I just don't think so. Does this look right to you? I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay.
I'll find you some 92
All right.
millimeter clips.
Thanks, Anthony. Hey,
We had them.
in the meantime, why don't we install some memory? And that is why we have people who are here to... yes. Okay. Micron has actually formally announced the 24 gigabit dies that are in these 24 gig memory modules that they sent me home with from the Micron factory tour. So we are going to get a chance to fire up the system with less mysterious or less mystery around these modules. So if you guys look, they just put a bunch of BS on the label. The part number just says 1337. There's a random 69 at the end of that one under the QR code. They said 8 terabytes DDR9 9000. That was, I told them, I was like, guys, that's a huge missed opportunity. It should have been 9001 so that it's over 9000. And they're like, oh, you're right. CL69 though, nice. But unfortunately, I can't tell you what spec they run at right now because I forget. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to install them. We're going to hope that these weird prototype modules actually boot up in this system, but they should. And we will do that after Anthony returns with those clips. Oh, you know what? We can turn our attention to maybe some super chats. If you guys want to write into the stream today, the best way to do it. Did I say super chats? Oh, well, I mean, we can look at super chats, but I meant merch messages. Merch messages are the best way to write in. You just go to lttstore.com, check out with something, anything. Even if you're not interested in something that we have for sale today, maybe you're waiting for the stubby screwdriver, for example, you can just pick up a gift card, and in the checkout, you will see the option for a merch message. You just fill it out, and then our producer, Dan, over there, will show your merch message in the bottom third of the screen, or he'll type up a little reply to you. It'll be in the top. It'll be in the top. Or he'll type up a little reply to you, or he will save it for me to address later on in the stream. So you guys can go ahead and send some of those in if you want to chat with us. Dan, do you have anything for us?
I do, actually.
You
I've
do?
got a couple
All right,
here.
hit me.
Love watching the streams. Question for Linus. If another company, i.e. Google, were to release a foldable in North America, would you consider switching to it, or do you prefer Samsung's software?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, my biggest issue with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold is actually Google's software. So with that in mind, I would have to see that Google has put the effort into their phone software to make sure that their phone is compatible with key Google apps, like, say, for example, YouTube. One of the biggest problems that I have with my foldable device is that I cannot create YouTube stories. Most YouTube features are supported, including the new Go Live Together feature. But stories, nope, redheaded stepchild. No longer getting any love from the Google development team, in spite of the fact that I've pointed out that this has been sorely missing for 3 years. I have gotten personal assurances from now 2 YouTube employees that they are on it and going to fix it right away. They have not. Spoiler alert. So, man, it's really hard to say. There's also, I mean, there's key apps that just do not deliver a great experience on foldables. For example, Instagram is always like this. Shh. Well, whatever, it doesn't matter that I've been logged out. The point is, Instagram always has black pillars on it. Always. It only goes, and only, that wide. And there's nothing that Samsung or Google can do about that. They just never optimized for tablet, and foldables run more like a tablet version of Android, and then they kind of scale down to phone size when you're using the front screen, is my understanding. There's also, man, no matter who makes the phone and no matter who does the software, there's also going to be challenges around the hardware. Like, I'm bullish on foldable screens. I like them. I think they're cool. We talked about this in the, full disclosure, sponsored video that we did for Samsung Display at CES, but as with any sponsored video that we do, we didn't say anything we didn't believe, and I think that the paradigm of a foldable tablet that you can just, because they had one that was like a 3-way fold, like a tablet that is in this form factor that you can just tuck into a purse or something like that. I think it's a game changer. I think that's super cool. The problem is that at least my, what is this, a Z3, I think? So at least for my 3rd gen device, hold on a second, let me just make sure I'm not opening anything incriminating here. Yeah, sure, LTT subreddit. So at least for my 3rd generation device, check this out. Can you see that, Andrew? Yeah, right down there. That kind of, like, kind of cracky looking rainbow effect down the middle? There's an actual texture to that, like it's foldable, but the glass, not glass, like composite material that they're using is starting to crack on mine. And so it's one of those products that I love and I use and I'm excited about, but that is hard for me to recommend to people who might not want to replace their phone every year or 2, right? Like, if you're expecting to use your phone for 4 years and you've got a screen that just eventually cracks, I mean, I don't know that they're all doing it, and I'm certainly a heavy user, but it's not encouraging, that's for sure, right? Glad you guys are liking the video quality today. We have Dan to at least partially thank for that, but also the rest of our crew. Oh man, it'd be hard to thank everyone. I know Brandon, Andy, and Ed have all been responsible for different changes to our production workflow. I'm not going to try to name everyone. Jake for sure, though. There, that's it. I'm not going any further than that. That's enough. Now, let's talk about this power supply. Oh, hey, did Anthony find those clips? All right, Anthony, I'll keep going here. Okay, let's talk about this cool power supply. This was the other half of the package that Silverstone sent over that made us go, wow, we've really got to do a build with this. This reminds me of like when you go into one of those like weird like Japanese stores or something like that, where everything is stuff that you recognize, but it's like miniature. Right? This is an 850 watt power supply that if I just put on the table and went like that, and yeah, go, look at it. Okay, and you had no context for how big it is, you would go, oh yeah, that seems like a pretty big power supply, right? Okay, but hold on, here, come back to me. Okay, just point out the door here. Can you make it out the door, Andrew? Yeah, you can make it out the door. You got this, bruh. Okay, cool. So here, where's our grab and go power supply bin? Here. Okay. Oh, look, conveniently. Oh no, that's not 850 watt. Is there an 850 watt? Yeah, it doesn't matter. The point is, okay, here, this is a 600 watt power supply. Okay, let's go back to the table for a second. Don't worry, you got this, Andrew. Okay, don't trip on Dan. We don't need Dan to trip. All right, check this out. Okay, so this is a pretty normal looking power supply, right? Okay, this is a pretty normal looking power supply, okay, right? Okay, here's my magic trick. It's so small. It's freaking tiny. Look at this thing. It's like little baby power supply. Look at it. It's amazing, okay? The fact that this is an 850 watt power supply that managed Cybernetics' platinum rating and fits in the power of the sun in the palm of your hand, okay? It's so cool. And that's a big part of how Silverstone was able to squeeze this much computer into such a small enclosure, because normally, just to power this bloody GPU, okay, you need 600 watts. Well, where's it gonna come from? This, apparently. All right, let's go ahead and get this bad boy installed. At least we're gonna try. I'm gonna need my full-size screwdriver for this one. All right, let's pull out the power supply cage. They've gone with an internally mounted power supply, which is pretty typical for these kinds of small form factor builds. Oh, there's a third screw. See, I haven't touched any of this yet. That's the both the advantage and the drawback of having a highly skilled, pre-production writing team is that I end up going in, it saves a lot of time, obviously, but I end up going in cold oftentimes and having to kind of fake my way through things. Okay, this is, yes. This is the hardware for the case, which means the hardware for the power supply is probably in here somewhere. Oh, okay. They include an ATX mounting bracket because nothing would actually prevent you from powering a full-size system with this thing. And they also include, yes, here we go. Oh, there's a merch message. Hey, you got the backpack. Quite expensive to get in Germany. Any news on the zipper replacements? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I had a meeting with the Creator Warehouse team today, and we do have an update for you guys. Oh, shoot. I don't have the replacement one on my bag. Hey, where did our PA go? We have a PA now. Yes, I have a job for you. Can you please run over to Creator Warehouse and get from Tynan, who is upstairs in the back, get the samples of what is going to be the solution for prying open the zipper thing, and then also the solution for the new carabiner. And I can show it to these guys on the stream. It'll be great. I believe in you. He might need help. It's his first day. What do you got there, Anthony? You find it?
Clips that don't appear to work.
Nice. Nice. I mean, it's possible that I missed something here.
I mean, we had them here.
That's why I'm saying it's possible I missed something. I don't see what I missed.
I don't get it. Where did they go?
And where did they come from?
Oh no.
Where did they go? See, you didn't think I was going there with it.
No, I didn't.
But the good news is that the power supply is mounted to this bracket, and we can go ahead and install. Oh, go to the top down. Go to the top down. We can go ahead and pop this bad boy. Pro tip: make sure you hit that power switch now, not later. Not later when it's hard to get at. Okay. Oh crud! Did I do this? Oh no, I did this right. Okay. So power supply goes in a little something like that. There we go. Yeah. It's real cooperative like that. Hey! Nice. Man, she's tiny though. She's tiny. We could easily have done an SFX-L power supply in this case, so that's one of the, no, I need the top down again. That's one of the longer SFXs that uses a 120 millimeter fan, but I think part of the point of firing these products over to us for Silverstone was they just wanted to show off how small they could do an 850 watt power supply. Well played, Silverstone. Well played. I believe they have 1,000 watt in that size, which is also pretty freaking wild. All right, let's go ahead, and I don't think we have any Silverstone cable mod kits handy. So we're gonna go ahead and, okay, I'm trying to remember what this stupid extra 4-pin is for. They sent me a whole email about it at some point, but I don't remember. I think it goes back to the power supply actually, because we were trying to figure out what the crap it did. And then we did this other stream where I was like, yeah, Silverstone told me it goes back to the power supply, but then it didn't post with it in there or something, and I don't know, maybe it's fixed now. I'm gonna try and plug it into the power supply, and then if this doesn't work, I'm never plugging in one of those again. That'll be it. That'll be the end of it. All right, there's our 24-pin connector. We are also going to need, oh, right. Oh, we get to deal with this. I don't suppose they have the new 12 plus 4-pin connector for Nvidia's latest 40 series GPUs, do they? That would be a, oh, no way! Affirmative! Hey, awesome! Okay, cool. Where does this plug into? Nice! Oh, I love it. ATX 3.0, baby, or whatever they're calling it. Anyway, it has the 12-volt high-power connector. So that little guy, I don't know if you can see any of this, Andrew, but I'm trying. That little guy will go in there, a little something like, well, helps to put it in the right way. Look, I was holding it, reversed and got my wires crossed a little bit. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna get it, don't you worry. There we go. Awesome! And that will hopefully reach wherever the crap our GPU is gonna go. We'll figure that out later. These are minor details. Minor details. Did you find it?
Yes.
Nice!
If they're not the right ones, they at least work.
Okay, perfect. Well, not necessarily perfect, but okay, functional. Do you have any other merch messages for us, Dan?
Yeah, I think I've got another one here.
We're going to get this computer built eventually here.
If we're talking about creator warehouse stuff, any plans for releasing a bit holder for all the LTT screwdriver bits?
Oh, yes. Someone message. Maybe you can bring back prototypes of that while we're at it.
Okay.
Yes, we have some plans. Again, there's a big difference between what we could release quickly and what we are just compulsively required to end up sort of feature creeping into. So it's going to take a while. I would say that for the time being, there's been some really great community designed ones. I've particularly seen them on the LTT subreddit. So I would check out some of those. Maybe just print one for yourself. But at some point in the future, we plan to have a few different tiers of offerings. So like kind of an Altoids tin-sized one that's just full of little magnetic bit holders. kind of deluxe one that holds the driver and bits. And then I think we're planning somewhere in between, but it might be just those two. I can't actually remember right now off the top of my head. I can't be, the CEO can't be expected to know everything that's going on around here. Oh yeah, these are definitely not quite the right clips, but yeah, we'll make them work. And by make them work, I really do mean force them to work. Hey, there it is. Look at that. Okay, all right. You guys asked for an update on the backpack. So here's how it's gonna work. We've got these recalled carabiner zipper pulls here. They look super cool, but they have a bit of a fatal flaw. And that is that if you put a lot of pressure on them here, and it varies from sample to sample. Some of them are a lot more resilient than others. Like some of them will basically just immediately break off, while some of you might have used this thing for 10 years and never thought that it was a problem at all. So it really varies a lot. But if you press on this, there's a chance that it will break off and it will turn from a carabiner zipper pull to a hook zipper pull. and that's all it'll do. So I tasked the Creator Warehouse team with coming up with a user serviceable way for people to quickly and easily swap these out for an improved design that doesn't have the same durability issues. What they came up with is actually pretty ingenious. So far, we have the new pulls designed, we have the removal mechanism designed, and we are still working on the details for the reattachment mechanism, but I'll show you what we have so far. So the idea was that we can ship you a little care package that has everything you need, and it shouldn't cost more than like a few bucks and shouldn't take longer than about 5 minutes. That was the goal that we set out with. So I'll show you how this works. Here, why don't I just demo it right on my backpack? Let's do this one. Okay, so this is just basically a little like hex wrench, but the geometry of this end is designed so that it can slip into this gap here, just barely, okay? Little something like that. And then if you give it a turn, okay, it will lift up the end of the zipper retention thing just enough to pull out your old zipper pull and no more, okay? Because that way you don't put too much stress on this right here. We found that this part is really only good for maybe 3 times being loosened and tightened. It's not really designed for that. So we really do not want people doing this over and over again. We do not want them pulling it any more than they absolutely have to. So you pop that out like that. Then we've got a new carabiner pull. This is like a sintered, like 3D printed one, but we're working on manufacturing for like a production ready one. And this is just a titanium. You can see it's got, okay, this one is, again, it's 3D printed, so don't worry too much about that. But it's got like these gaps here that give it kind of like a hinge. So basically, you just kind of go like that, and the stress is absorbed here. And because it's titanium, A, it's really difficult to break, and B, if you do manage to deform it out of shape, you can just kind of put it back into shape, and it should last for many, 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 many more cycles than the existing one. And if you do accidentally put some pressure on it from this side, it's like whatever, it's titanium. So this is our this is our prototype of the plan for the replacement pull. So then you would take this, pop it onto here, and then what we want to do is we want to make a little, like maybe plastic kind of press down thing, or, oh, one of the suggestions that I had was a thing that goes on top. And then I was actually inspired by Der Bauer's CPU IHS removal tools. So one that has a screw in the top so that you screw it and it can only go down a certain amount so that people can't over crank them as well on the way back down, and it'll just all be perfect and back to essentially stock, but have the new carabiner pulls on it. And then our plan is also to include classic YKK pulls, like just this style in the package. That way, if people decide, you know what, look, this whole carabiner thing has been more work than it's worth for me, and I just don't want to do it anymore, or I just prefer a classic pull, then they can swap it out at that time. However, I want to caution people. The idea is not, oh, I'm going to use carabiners now, and then I'll put the classic ones on later, and then maybe I'll swap back to the carabiner. No. Do not do that. Do not. It is designed for one time swapping these out, and that's it. Anyway, that's the plan. We've been hard at work on this. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, like, oh, what, so you designed an Allen key? that's the wrong shape, and a titanium clip. But these things take time, especially validation. Got people asking, how much did this defect end up costing you guys? Because the defect was shared with the bag manufacturer, we are hoping that we're going to be able to share some of the cost of getting these things shipped to, almost 30,000 customers around the world. And it's not going to kill us or anything. Obviously, we would have preferred it didn't happen. But the good news is that other than this, people are stoked on their bags. The reviews on the site are great, and we're going to get this taken care of, and then everything's going to be great, and we're going to, move on to future product development like this. So yes, we are working on a bit holder. There's a couple of things that are really cool about this one. It uses a hard plastic holder, and that's cool because it will never wear out like a foam one would. But obviously with the hard plastic, the retention is not going to be that great unless you have the entire bottom magnetized. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this was printed using our new 3D printer, by the way. Man, we can do some really awesome prototyping these days. Freaking love it. Here, let's get that magnetic bit retention. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, right. The top opens up flat, so you can use it as a parts tray if you really want to. And one of the coolest things about having a magnetic base is oh yeah. Freaking magnets, how do they work, right? So there's been a little bit of feature creep. I remember it was actually one of our new engineers on, must have been like their first or second week when they got assigned this project. They were like, okay, so, I noticed that the community came up with these cool ideas for just essentially an Altoids tin that holds bits. What do you think about doing a minimum viable product version now, right away, getting it out as fast as possible and then following up with a good one? And I'm like, you must be new here. Nope, we're going to do it the hard way right out of the gate. He's like, okay. I mean, it's a funny thing, right? When you see bad engineering in a product, from my experience dealing with engineers, I can pretty much promise you that that's because of management. Because every engineer that I've ever met and had the pleasure of dealing with wants to build a quality product. They don't want to cut corners. It's management that makes them cut corners. And so bad engineering, man, don't look at that and go, bad engineer. Look at that and go, bad management. Because I promise you, at least, I don't know, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, that's the issue. It's not the engineers. Okay, this is challenging. There we go. Okay. Wow, this is a really tight fit, and these clips are definitely not right. Okay. Could something go right on a build stream for once? What do you think, guys? Just for once. Could we have a build stream that goes completely smoothly?
We'd love it, but...
Yeah, Floatplane chat is blowing up with am engineer, can confirm. Yeah, 100%. And it's not that you're biased at all. But it really is a fact. Business decisions tend to be terrible, short-sighted decisions, whereas engineering decisions tend to be based on facts, based on things that we can test and quantify. Or at least things that we could test if we were given the budget and tools to do it. All right, have another merch message for me?
Yeah, sure. I've got one here.
Hit me.
This one's from Luke. Hi, Linus, Dan, and LTT team. Linus, I was wondering if you found your ideal watch. I remember hearing on WAN Show a while back you were looking for one. Enjoy the stream.
No, not really. Honestly, I've just kind of given up. Have you guys been following the way that Google's been nerfing Fitbits lately? Has anyone been following this? Oh, it's brutal. They can't, the music services that they can stream from are way more limited now. And basically, what it looks like is Google is sunsetting Fitbit without formally sunsetting Fitbit. So without having to say, yeah, any promises that we made about not turning Fitbit to crap, we broke them. But they just are going to degrade the experience to the point where it just is, and people are ultimately going to have to switch off of them. And it seems like the idea is they don't want to cannibalize Pixel Watch, but it's like, that's not the way to do this. And Google, you're a big enough company. And what's really bizarre is that you understand well enough not to behave like this, that you went and refunded everyone who bought into Stadia, and yet you can't carry that over to other parts of your business and treat people properly. Like, I just don't understand what kind of company Google is anymore right now. Like, you look at the way they handled the recent round of layoffs, and it's inhumane. You can't have a mother in a hospital on maternity leave finding out that she's been terminated. Like, that's not cool. Even ignoring the legal ramifications of laying off someone on, maternity. Actually, I don't even know if maternity leave is legally required in the state of California, so I could be speaking out of turn on that. But I can tell you, in countries with actual labor laws like Canada, something like that would be a big no-no. that would be a big fat not cool from the BC government. But even if it is legal, it's not okay. Like, we shouldn't normalize it. And so, you look at the way they're treating their Fitbit customers, look at the way they're treating their Google Home customers, right? They've got that whole patent dispute with Sonos where Google appears to be patently, or their claims appear to be patently false. No, sorry. I was trying really hard to make that, to go for that pun, but it didn't work. But Google seems to be clearly in the wrong. Sonos appears to be clearly in the right, and yet Google keeps fighting this fight to the point where instead of just paying the license fees, they would rather degrade the experience for their smart speaker customers. And I'm looking at it going, you can't sell a product based on a set of features and then cut the features after we buy the product. Like, that wasn't the deal, right? When I buy a product, it's based on the advertised features. So again, it might be legal, but it's definitely not cool. It's not consumer friendly. Then there's the whole thing. I'm going to talk about this in more detail on WAN Show, but I am really not angry necessarily yet, but I am disturbed by the way that Google is divvying up Shorts revenue. On the one hand, yeah, it's a lot better than TikTok, obviously. But better than ByteDance shouldn't be your goal. ByteDance should be way in the rearview mirror when it comes to, the ethicality of what you're doing, right? So it's better than ByteDance, but YouTube recently shared some more details about how they're sharing Shorts revenue with creators. And so, yeah, better than ByteDance. They're sharing revenue at all. So, okay. But not better than ByteDance. Some of it they are keeping entirely for themselves. For example, when you click into the Shorts shelf, they used to call it a shelf, I don't know what it's called now, but when you click into Shorts, if an ad plays for you immediately before you actually consume any Shorts content, YouTube considers that their revenue. And I'm kind of looking at it going, how do you figure? Why did anyone click on that if not to watch Shorts from creators? How is it that you think that that's all yours? Further muddying the waters, YouTube has acknowledged by the very creation of the Shorts monetization strategy that they have, that it is not easy to attribute a particular ad view to a particular short. That's why all Shorts revenue gets pooled and then shared between music rights holders, creators, and YouTube themselves. So since you know that, since you obviously know that, and you created this whole program with that in mind, that really it's just one big ecosystem that we should all be sharing from the pool of, how is it that you've carved out this one particular ad placement that is just for you? And how do I know as a creator that you won't be incentivized to disproportionately use that placement right when people click into shorts so you don't have to share it? Like I said, I'm not outraged yet, but to me, this marks a pretty clear change in perspective for Google, who until now has taken a very creator-first approach to revenue sharing on the YouTube platform, understanding how necessary creators are for the success of YouTube. And it's like, you know, I've often said I'm very bullish on YouTube for the future. They get it better than any other platform. Facebook couldn't crack the code. TikTok hasn't managed to crack the code. Twitch never cracked the code. That's why streamers are migrating en masse from Twitch to YouTube, because YouTube figured it out. You build a long-term sustainable ecosystem for yourself, yes, and your partners, the partner program. That's what it was called, right? And so that's why I'm so bullish on YouTube. That's why nobody can steal the top creator talent from YouTube, unless YouTube changes and doesn't get it anymore. Well, then they open up a window. They open up an opportunity for a competitor. And so I would like to see them recognize, publicly apologize, say, hey, look, that was a big screw up. I don't know what we were thinking. Write this and say, yeah, this isn't going to happen again. That's really the only acceptable response from my point of view, because it's obvious to me. And sure, I have my own agenda here, right, as a video creator. But it is obvious to me that if someone clicks on shorts, it's because they want to watch shorts. Do they want to watch shorts produced by Google? No. They want to watch shorts produced by creators. So we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do. This is bad. I need to get this 8-pin in there. Yeah, it's an abyss. Yeah. OK, you guys are about to see some very fancy PC building. This would actually not be that hard, except that it's a 4+4 and it doesn't have a lock. So, all right, I have an idea. Where's my tape at here? I don't have electrical tape, so I will settle for medical tape. We got this. Super glue, that's a good suggestion from Twitch chat over there. Okay. Oh boy. This is not going to be easy. I hope no one was planning to go home at their regularly scheduled end of day today. This could be 5 minutes alone just plugging in this 8-pin connector. And good luck to whoever tries to remove it. All right. No, I think we got this. Oh, hold on. Wait for it. Did we get it? Holy crap. I think we might. No, I think we might have got it. Hold on. I just got to check. Now, the key is don't let this slip. You jab that motherboard, it's dead. Okay. Yeah! All right, now let's hope that I can actually, let's hope this is long enough to reach the power supply. Yes! Oh, good. That would have been awkward. That would have been very awkward. All right, so that's going to go right there. A little something like that. Okay, cool. You got any more merch messages for me? Want to hit me with any of those?
Yeah, sure. I've got another couple here, if I can find my mouse.
Shoot.
Oh, no, what'd you break?
I never put in the M.2. Please tell me there's a... Nice.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Nice.
I love it when they do that.
Big, fat CPU socket cutout. Love to see it. All right, I'm just going to throw it on the back then.
Okay, can you do that while you respond to a merch message?
Oh wait, less nice. No,
Oh no.
I just barely can't get in there. Okay, we're going in from the front. We're going in from the front. We got this. All right, hit me, Dan.
Okay, is there any possibility of doing a GPU collab with another brand like Asus?
A GPU collab.
I wonder.
Now, if you're talking about like a Kingpin edition of a GPU, you know, that sort of thing, I can tell you that the odds are pretty slim for us. One of the reasons for that is that with any product or collab or whatever it is, the question we ask ourselves first is, what are we contributing? What are we adding to this? In the case of a GPU, I mean, you know, I could lay out a list of requirements like it should be cool, and it should be quiet, and it should be fast, and it should look good. But like, I mean, realistically, is that not what everyone's already trying to do? So, you know, I think that what would end up happening is I would just spec the Noctua GPU, which Asus and Noctua already did anyway, and there'd be no reason for mine to exist because it would just be that, right? Like in the case of Kingpin, you kind of look at it and you go, okay, well, what does Kingpin bring to the table? Well, obviously his overclocking expertise, right? He's adding that to the product. What do I add to the product? I don't know. In that case, maybe nothing. Maybe it comes with a subscription to Floatplane, but then it's like, that could just be a coupon that comes in some other GPU. It doesn't have to be a specific product. So I think that if we ever saw an opportunity where we could really add something to the conversation, you might see something like that from us. But for the time being, it's not really in the cards. We can talk about why we're putting in this SSD, though. After I find, oh, that's cool. This motherboard comes with a cute little escape keycap. That's neat. Okay, this is a problem. Nope, this is not a problem. Hey, there it is. M.2 installation screw. There it is. Boop. Cool. So we went with the Sabrent Rocket 4 Plus G. This is the 2 terabyte variant of it. It's a Gen 4 SSD with TLC 3D NAND. It runs on Sabrent's in-house O2 Go firmware and is certified for direct storage, which finally has a game that actually supports it. Not a game that people generally think is worth playing, but a game nonetheless. Look, okay, us PC gamers, okay, for a while now, we gotta take the W's we can get, okay? You know, we got an exclusive. It's like, yeah, it's 3 years old. No, but we got an exclusive. Let's go. We take our W's where we can, okay? Let's get this installed. There we go. All right, Rocket 4 Plus G. Let's get this heatsink put back on here. I don't know if you can see any of this, maybe top down. So poor Andrew doesn't have to like break his back leaning over this.
Got a sturdy back.
Sturdy back, sturdy Irish back.
That's it,
Yeah. All right, I think we might want to go top down. Oh wait, is the top down gone? I saw you guys fussing with it. Oh yeah, no, there we go. You know, you really can't see any better in the top down than you could from Andrew. Not to be confused with Andy. This is a completely different camera operator. We've got Andrew and Andy. Funny story. Andrew got back from his Christmas holiday, and he tells me, yeah, it was really confusing. Because I go home and visit my family, and everybody's calling me Andy. And go, whoa, where's Andy?
And he wasn't there.
And he wasn't there. That was the most confusing part. Andy wasn't there. It's funny how, you know, you think of work as like just work, right? But then also it's like 8 hours of your day, 5 days a week, and it can shape things as basic as like the names you'll respond to, you know? It's wild. Okay, I am having one heck of a time getting this lined up here. Come on, buddy, can you get in? Oh yes, I think I got it. Because it's got a bit of an interference issue with the heatsink. So I'm using a smaller bit, and then I'm going in at an angle in order to try to screw this thing in. See, I had to kind of get in there. But I got it. There's a little trick for you. Yeah, you just gotta kind of get in there at an angle and you can kind of drive it. Okay. M.2's in. We're making good progress now. Let's just go ahead and get our front panel connectors plugged in. You want to hit me with another super chat? You know what? Yes, I should check the super chats. I did acknowledge them today. And I got a message from YouTube telling me that apparently they have fixed it so that super chats will actually show up for me properly. Instagram works on the Fold 4 inside screen, but is still broken on the Fold 3. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, so I didn't buy a new enough $2,000 phone. Oh, sorry, Samsung. My bad. I fit a 13900K and a 4090 in an A4 H2O earlier this month. Wow. That's why you can afford a $20 super chat, apparently. Opinion on DDR5 with 12th gen. So we haven't tested that recently, so it would be hard for me to give any kind of updated thoughts on it. So I just have to kind of fall back to what I said before, which is that it's faster, but it's maybe not as much faster as you might expect. And if there's a price premium, it may not be worth it, but that price premium is going away, guys. Like, I was shocked when we were working on that DDR5 performance comparison video, looking at the prices of DDR5 memory kits. Like, they're not bad all of a sudden. I don't know how it happened. Anthony is standing here like he has something to talk about. What's up, Anthony?
I just remembered that there is one more component to this build that we didn't think about, but it's something we can do.
Drive?
Yeah.
I don't want to put an optical drive in.
But it's a slimline optical drive that the only reason we can install it is because we have an SFX power supply, not an SFX-L.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know.
thanks.
Sure.
It's like Anthony doesn't want anyone to go home today.
If I can't go home, none of you can.
Perfect. Okay. Because that's the attitude. That's the work environment we're trying to foster around here. Perfect. Okay, fine. We'll put in a Blu-ray drive. I don't remember the last time I installed an optical drive in a gaming computer. It's definitely been a minute. Now, where does it even go? I guess we'll figure it out. Oh, wait, what? No, where does it... Where the devil does it go? I don't even see it. I don't see anywhere for an optical drive here. I don't see anywhere for, oh, there it is. Oh.
Should we make a poll, Linus?
What? Does that even, what the hell? How do I even get that in here? Do I have to take the power supply out?
I honestly don't know.
Oh my God.
I haven't test fit this.
No. I'm not doing it.
You don't get a poll.
No. If you really want a Blu-ray drive, you figure it out. I'm not participating in this. I said I would, I lied. There. All right, hit me, Dan.
Okay, I just got to stop laughing first. Okay. Hey, Linus, I'm loving the LTT screwdriver. I got 3 of the limited black shaft edition. With the shorty version, will there be also a limited black edition with the same disclaimers and such?
I gotta tell you guys. Okay, one of the issues for our customer support team, okay, was that we did not anticipate the absolutely explosive growth that we experienced over the second half of last year. And so there was just a dramatic uptick in general support tickets that just comes from growing. Another problem for the support team, what about second problem? Another problem for the support team was that people do not read product pages before placing orders. And I'm not blaming the user, because at a certain point, if everybody's doing it, then the problem has to be with the site design. Okay, fair enough. So we got a lot of tickets from people going, where the effing F is my screwdriver? Your site says, you know, X number of days or weeks or months or whatever it said at the time. And it has been X plus 3 of those units of time measurement, and I don't have it yet. To which our poor utterly swamped customer support team had to say, your screwdriver is on schedule. You didn't read the schedule correctly, which nobody likes to hear, which I get, I totally understand, which created a lot of unnecessary tickets for our support team. Now, with that said, I do sympathize with people who want the black shaft version of the screwdriver. It does look cool. We also apparently did communicate correctly that it will not have the same durability as the regular finish, and so we haven't had a flood of people going, oh, it rubbed off, I'm so angry. So that's been fine. But I guess if I was to try to talk myself out of this one, I would say, look, it's only a wee little shaft. Does it really need to be black? Come on. Do I have to double my SKU count and subject my poor, beefed up, customer support team, or customer experience team, I think we're kind of rebranding it. Do I have to subject them to that? Again, I'm not saying we won't do it. I'm just saying think long and hard about the answer, okay? Do you really need a black one? I think the answer is no. But, you know, I have to deal with the logistics of all of it, or at least I have to, you know, hire people to deal with the logistics of all of it. And I would really prefer if you guys just kind of came to me and said, you know what, Linus, that seems reasonable. Why don't we just have a silver one? Let's see. Ah, shit. Well, in a big surprise to nobody, a YouTube viewer base was not reasonable and wants a black shaft stubby. All right, someone inform Kyle. He's gonna flip, man. You should have seen the look on his face when I told. Okay, so we're. Okay, yeah, there. So we're working on fixed shaft drivers, right? Just like your standard screwdriver. These are not prototypes or anything. These are just random fixed shaft drivers, just in case someone somewhere has never seen a screwdriver and has no idea what I'm talking about. So we're working on fixed shaft drivers. And obviously, for all the different bits, sizes, and types, right, you would have a different type of handle. Right, I remember why I grabbed these. It was a whole thing. Right, where did it go? Yeah,
Linus,
right.
can I interrupt? I'm getting a lot of messages from the engineering team right now. From Nick Light, he says $10 upcharge for black shaft.
He says $10 upcharge.
For the stubby, and
wow,
Kyle is just typing in all capitals.
Okay, so Kyle, let's talk
no,
about Kyle.
Tell Linus no.
Let's talk about Kyle. So obviously, for a fixed shaft driver, for a little tiny Phillips number 1, you wouldn't have a giant chonky handle like this. And for a big fat, like slot number 3, you wouldn't have little tiny handle like this, right? So you have to have different handle sizes. Also, not every job can be done with a short tool. Sometimes you just need a big long tool to get her done, if you know what I'm saying. So Kyle was like, okay, well, we just need to come up with whatever is, what we feel the correct handle size for whatever shaft. Like, actually, he didn't even want to do separate lengths, but I talked him into separate lengths without too much fuss. But we just need to decide whatever is the right handle, girth, and length for whatever shaft type and length. To which I went, we can do better. So the idea, kind of like the disruption that we caused in the desk pad market, where we offer pretty much every possible dimension of desk pad, lttstore.com, at the same price. The idea is that you will be able to pick within reason, okay? Your handle size, your shaft type, and your shaft length, and we will basically produce in small batches, press fit them together, and then stock essentially what will probably end up being like 100 different SKUs of screwdrivers. You won't be able to take the very smallest flathead and put it on the chunkiest handle. Like that would be silly. But what I suspect is that for any given shaft length and end type, you'll be able to get at least a couple different variations of handle size, so that if you want something that's really for cranking on it for like automotive work, versus if you want something that's a little finer for electronics work or something like that, you can be guaranteed that you'll have something that'll match your needs. We will be standardizing on the actual overgrip type, so unlike the ratcheting drivers, which need a lot of, Kyle's here, which need a lot of internal space for bit storage, and so can't really have an overmolded grip. We're going to have kind of like a really hard, what is it? It's like a silicone, like a high durometer silicone. What is it?
Sorry, what are we talking about?
The overmold part. You're walking away from your microphone, sir.
Oh, for what? The
The
stubby?
fixed shaft ones. Fixed shaft.
Oh, you leaked that? Oh. I come here to chew you out about the black shaft for the stubby, and you leaked. Oh my goodness, this guy. Yes, it's a hydrometer. Still figuring that out.
Okay, so high durometer something. So is it like a rubber or like, what is it?
Yeah, something like that. We're still figuring out, Linus.
Yeah, okay, cool. So anyway, the plan is to have all these different bit types and shaft lengths, and you can have a different handle size if you want. Kyle doesn't want to do it. Look at him.
How many SKU counts do you want, brother?
You walked away from your microphone again.
I've got a
wants
microphone
to-
here if you want to like come close to my chest.
How many SKU counts do you want, man?
However many it takes to please the people. We have to please the people.
Bye.
Bye. He's excited about it. He likes solving problems, right? He's gone. I'm pretty sure he still works here. I don't think that was a resignation. I think he's just going back to his workspace to work, because now he has a lot more work to do all of a sudden. Okay, let's find a PCIe extension. Was there one included in the box somewhere, maybe? Oh wait, does it come with a PCIe riser?
It should.
I don't see one.
Uh-oh.
Do we actually know that this case includes everything we need?
I
don't
was
see
told it
anything here.
did.
I mean, this is the power supply box. I don't see anything. Oh! Hello. This must be it. Please be a PCIe riser. Hey, yes? No. What is this? It's feet. Quick, blur them. Blur them before they end up on that site. It's a joke. It's a joke. You don't have to blur them. Okay, what's in here? Then?
Couldn't do it in time.
Ah, there it is. PCIe riser. Perfect. Okay, it was in the small box. All right. Okay. Well then, yeah, I think I can kind of figure this out. So this comes out of here. Is this a Gen 4 riser? I would hope so.
They say that it's a Gen 4, not PCI Express 5, but Gen 4.
Which is fine. For now, all GPUs are Gen 4 only anyway. I think the easiest way to do this is actually going to be to pop it in from the other side. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you might want to give me my top down. Go ahead and plug this boy in here. Yeah, a little something like that. And then this guy, ooh, wow. It's going to go a little something like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, bud. Not bad. Okay, and then what kind of screws do I need here? When does Kyle get to host TechLinked? I mean, I think Kyle could host TechLinked, but he's very busy. That's the thing. Kyle's too busy making all of my wild imagination projects come to life. If you guys are subscribed on Floatplane, by the way, there's a great recent exclusive, Meet the Team, we call it, where just, people from the team that you wouldn't otherwise get a chance to meet, like from, engineering or customer support or whatever else, get kind of interviewed by our social media team. And Kyle was the most recent one, and it's about half an hour long, and it's just a great look at how the product development process works here. He talked a lot about the trials and tribulations that he's gone through as part of being here. It's a really good one. I'm sure that the Floatplane chat, it says the Kyle one was excellent. Yep, 100% guys. Yeah, he's one of those people that as soon as he figures out the camera's on, he gets kind of awkward. But when he is relaxed, he's just a really good talker and super knowledgeable, which is the most important thing. Okay, here's the part where we fit a 4090 into this tiny case, and I think, I managed to figure out. That's fine. Managed to figure out pretty quickly how to do it. I just have to take out these PCI slot covers back here.
There may be more.
There may be more. Oh, okay. Well, I'll figure out what Anthony is referring to very shortly here. Looks like all three of these do need to come out in order to fit the GPU in. 1, 2. Look, these are controlled drops, okay? Watch, here comes the third one. Yes! That's skill right there. All right, this boy. I'm gonna wanna run this 12-pin with sense pins connector first, I think. Yeah, let's get that in there. Okay, that was not controlled, but it was, started out not controlled and then became controlled. That will go there. And then this will go here. Okay, yeah. Wow, that's cool. So this really was designed with, all right. With the 30 series in mind, because clearly the 40 series is so wide that this little support brace thing here cannot even accommodate its impressive girth. I don't think this is, wait, can it go even wider? Oh, look at that. Not bad. This is cool. It was clearly designed with the airflow path of these cards in mind. You can see here that this back fan, which pulls air up this way from just basically the outside of the case right here, has almost entirely unrestricted flow. Like this should actually work. That's cool. Did I miss something, Anthony?
Maybe Silverstone missed something. They told me that you would have to remove that entirely in order to get that in, but it seems to work. So,
yeah, I don't know
yay.
what you're talking about. Here's one thing that's just a little minor detail. I don't know why cases haven't figured this out, but these boys got caught on here. Whoop, and I bent it. I mean, back when these were made of steel, you could do that with them. Anywho, let's go ahead and screw this in. You got any more merch messages for me, Dan?
Yes, I do.
All right, hit me.
Let's go with this one here. Hello from the Netherlands. Question for Linus. We've had videos, painful, on the smart home heating lately, but how are your lights going?
It is hard for me to say for sure whether the problem is with Z-Wave.js, the Home Assistant Z-Wave module, or if the problem is with the Jazzco switches. I don't know. To their credit, Jazzco has done everything that I've asked. They've made their firmwares available and all that kind of stuff, which is super cool. They've collaborated with Home Assistant, which is super cool. So I can't really give them too much grief about it, but that doesn't change the fact that the switches are not working very well for me, and the network that contains all of these switches is not very stable, which is making it really hard for me to configure them. Like, starting a new inclusion for a switch takes minutes, right? Like, everything times out, essentially, at this point, and I'm beyond frustrated with them. So what I'm hoping is that project that Innovelli announced as a collaboration with me without really my authorization, so that was a whole awkward thing, but they apologized and it's all cool now. I'm hoping that switch, which is based on millimeter wave presence detection and would not require you to have one smart switch and then one kind of dummy secondary unit. So you'd be able to have smart switches with presence detection on both sides. So It's especially cumbersome on stairs, right? When you have one smart switch with a motion detector and one dummy switch, because you only have motion sensing at one side of a staircase. No, you need motion sensing at both ends of a staircase. That's like the whole point, right? So it will not require that. It'll have millimeter wave, which should be way better for presence detection. It's just that there's been some delays, and that project is taking some time. You can check out it's either their forum or their blog. They're a pretty transparent company about their product development, and you should be able to get some updates from those guys. So I'm hoping when that switch lands from Innovelli, I'll be able to just wholesale switch to it, and I'll be good to go. Is this done? I'm not putting the Blu-ray in, so
Maybe.
sponsors, you say? Is this done, like this segue to our sponsor? By the way, there's more after the sponsor spot. Don't tune out.
Jackery. Whether you're looking to make margaritas on the beach, you're living that van life,
are
or
asking
you're
for an
preparing
update
to
on the
leave
butt lighter.
civilization behind, their solar generator 2 hours, you can get in and get out before anyone has even noticed you're there. Or pair your power station with an array of Jackery Solar Saga 200-watt solar panels for a full charge in as little as 2 hours, and rid yourself of the need to ever step foot indoors again, or shave, or use soap. Check out the Jackery SG1500 Pro at the link below, and get 10% off all Jackery products with code LinusTechTips at the link below.
Just in case part of that was muted, Jackery, good products, saved the WAN show during a power outage. Shout out Jackery. We're going to have all the details at the link in the video description. They're great for camping. They're really great for camping. That's mostly what I use mine for. But they're also just great for any kind of like emergency power, or even just not emergency power. Like I was out in the driveway and I just needed to power like a power tool. And I was like, well, my house was under construction. Otherwise, you could just run an extension cord, yes. But my Jackery was nearby and that outlet was not active. So I just grabbed my Jackery and I'm like, let's go. Because they can provide a shocking amount of power on a lot of their higher end units. So you can easily run things like power tools or like cooking appliances, hair dryers, just all that sort of stuff. So there you go, Jackery, check them out, just in case those sponsor spots got mangled. What Floatplane Chat was asking about before we did that was one of the things that Kyle discussed in his Floatplane exclusive, which was one of the first products that I pitched to him back when he started. I told him that I wanted him to design a lighter / snuffer. So like a one tool to do two jobs with candles. I like candles for my bath, and one of the inconveniences of candles is that you have to light them and you have to snuff them out. And so I was like, I want just one tool that can do both. We'll call it the snuffer. So it would have two triggers, one for a jet style flame, because I hate the like traditional flames. So one for like a jet style flame, and then a second that's just like a spring loaded like little puff. Anyway, that evolved from just, having discussions about it. And I don't know who to give full credit for this idea to, because it was kind of one of those things that was very, happened very fluidly at the time. But the idea that ultimately came from that was, what if we made it in the shape of a buttocks? And so you'd have this butt-shaped, I don't know what the trigger would be for it, but like a butt-shaped thing, and so you'd have like a flaming fart come out of it, and then whether it would have a sound effect or not, I don't know, but you'd press another trigger, and then you'd have like a not flaming fart to put out the candle. And so that was one. It was then that Kyle realized he'd found his people. I'm gonna love developing products for these guys. I'm not entirely sure that that's the thought that went through his mind at that time, but probably. That's probably what he was thinking. People are apparently ready. They're ready for this product. You're going to be ready for a long time, because we have done absolutely zero development. And as you guys know, it would be the finest quality novelty lighter you've ever seen and take probably 3 years to develop. So if I was serious about actually building that product, I probably shouldn't have said anything about it this early, because the crappy imitators will have all the time in the world now to develop their own crappy butt-shaped lighter. This is done now, right? So I think we can game on it? Sure. All right, let's do it. In the meantime, Anthony, do you want to help me get that set up? And then Dan, do you want to hit me with some merch messages?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Anthony, your mic's still working?
Cool.
I'm not hearing anything from it. Oh, no.
It says it's on, and I've got levels.
All right. Dan, want to just hit me with a merch message while you figure that out?
Oh, I already got it. Okay, we got it. This one's from James. Being a new dad looking for advice how to get my kid into electronics the right way. Hoping you have some suggestions as a dad yourself.
I mean, it's hard for me to suggest anything but like the tried and true path, right? So, okay, well, there's a couple of things. One is, man, games. Like, Anthony, would you know how to use a computer if you didn't have to learn to use a computer to play games?
Probably not.
Well, there you go, right? Same here. I wouldn't know how to use a computer at all if I didn't have to figure it out to play video games. And gaming is one of those things that I think we can pretty much all agree is, yeah, that one.
DisplayPort?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not going to capture?
Oh, no, I don't think we need to capture. Yeah, pretty much everyone loves gaming these days. It's no longer just for kids or just for guys or whatever else. I think it's crossed pretty much every barrier that it could cross. There's certainly ways that it could be more inclusive, but it's come a long way. And so I think, you know, sharing your love of video games is one way, but then also not just handing them the answer every time, right? Like making them troubleshoot. Because I got to tell you, when kids are sufficiently incentivized to figure something out, wow, do they ever learn fast. Like, it's shocking. So sharing your love of games, and then more broadly, just sharing your love of pretty much anything is going to make your kids amped about it. Like, whether you realize it or not, and whether they'll admit it or not, up until probably like 10, you are the absolute center of their universe. And what you think is cool, even if they're like, nah, that is pretty cool. Like the difference in how engaged, particularly my daughters were with their martial arts classes, once I started volunteering in their classes once a week, night and day. Like they were kind of like, do we have to go? Do we have to go? They never practiced. All of a sudden, I start going with them once a week. Switch goes on, and it's like, hey guys, get your uniforms on. Okay! Totally different attitude. And I can fix that. I'm gonna turn it off first. And like I said, when kids are sufficiently motivated, there is pretty much no limit to what they can learn. So once you fix the attitude, you fix the learning. So the key thing is just do it with them, right? You've got it. There's no shortcut. Really? Okay, I wouldn't really recommend bending heat pipes the way that I just did, but it got it off that cable, so that's cool. Yay, good job, Linus. All right, hit me, Dan.
Okay, this is from Roberto. Linus just put together my first new rig and
Did
setup.
he really?
First time.
Linus just put together your first rig. That's funny, I don't remember being there for that. Must have been a different Linus.
I guess there is a comma there, so I
carry
can't
on.
blame him for this one. The LTT screwdriver made it a breeze. 10 out of 10 would screw again. Also, what is your favorite Anno 1800 DLC? I just started playing and I'm addicted.
Favorite DLC?
You have to
man.
pick one.
You know what, I haven't checked out many of the recent ones, but I'd say the Arctic probably adds the most unusual sort of, or like changes the game the most, but I didn't really find building that fun in the Arctic. In Bisa, I haven't really gotten into, but I should, because I know that's how you get scholars, which is how you can get way better specialists. But for me, the fun one has really been Crown Falls, Cape Trelawney. Crown Falls is super cool because it's just like this giant island that like the sky is the limit. In terms of building, it's like this like blank slate, and it's enormous and has tons of everything. And it's just if you're less about competing with the AI players and all of that kind of crap, and you're more about just like optimizing your trade routes and your production and like building a sprawling metropolis, it's pretty fun. Okay, should I see anything on this display? Oh, and it turned off. Well, that's a good sign. Did I plug everything in? 8-pin, 24-pin. Did I ever plug the 24-pin? I think so. 12-pin?
It wouldn't turn on if you unplug the 24-pin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless
hello?
it's not in all the way.
Okay, maybe hit me with another merch message in the meantime.
Sure.
Is the monitor on DisplayPort?
You know what? I closed up the panels before booting it for the first time.
That's
bad GBs.
Yeah, you can't do
Sacrilegious.
that.
Bad.
It's cursed.
I could change it to it. Oh, that might not be done in all the way.
Oh,
Did anything change?
I don't know. You're about to see some live troubleshooting. Yay.
I mean,
That's what we wanted to do right now.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it should be booting, assuming it's all working.
Okay. Well, it immediately turned off.
That's
So
that's a bad.
that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it one more time here with that DisplayPort plugged in all the way.
Try it in the first DisplayPort port. Sometimes that makes a difference.
Very rarely, yes, but yes. Dan, want to hit me with another one?
Sure, this is from Joshua. As a swimmer, Linus, how much cross-contamination do you allow/encourage at LMG? Not Dan-level hat wearing, but if a staffer in finance wants to be on camera and isn't bad, do you encourage it?
As a swimmer? What does swimming have
I
to
was
do with any
also
of that?
confused. It ends in #IHeartSwim.
I heart swim. Is swim like an acronym I'm not familiar with, or
Hey.
is this? We're on, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I had no idea.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I tried to give you a thumbs up. I thought,
it
yeah.
Oh,
posted.
I thought you were thumbsing up because you were like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
You let
keep
people-
troubleshooting that.
Yeah,
good
no-
work. No, we're good. 48 gigs of RAM. Okay, apparently this is 5200. Are we in the XMP profile? 5600. CL46. Thanks, Micron. I mean, they only do JDEC memory, so that's expected actually. And I'm gonna run them. I'm gonna daily drive them just because they're cool and they're LTT edition. But anyway, we'll turn on XMP. Everything else here looks good. Yeah, let's see if we can get booted up to our M.2. Anyway, as for cross-contamination, honestly, the lines are pretty blurry here. Sarah doesn't work for Linus Media Group, for example, and she has appeared in numerous Linus Media Group productions, like on Mac Address, Short Circuit. She's hosted Short Circuits. Trying to think if there's other big ones like that. Okay, yeah, Luke technically works for Floatplane Media Inc., but he clearly appears on the WAN show. So the way that works is like something intercompany billing for time or something. I don't know. It's complicated and it's above my pay grade. But we try to find a balance of showing you guys familiar faces and helping build that relationship between our hosts and our audience, and also giving new people opportunities, like Jake Bellavance, excuse me, sorry Jake. Jake Bellavance, for example, recently hosted a Short Circuit. Up until now, he had just been the producer for Short Circuit, but he came on camera. He was like, yeah, he expressed an interest, and he's got that golden voice. So how can I say no? So we were like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll give you a shot. And when you get a shot, that doesn't mean that it's a guarantee that it's going to happen again. And that doesn't even necessarily mean that you sucked or anything. It's just, there's only so much on camera time. With that said, I think that's going to change in future as we do more and more videos just based on the data that the lab is going to start cranking out. So, if you're here and you've got some seniority and you build some expertise in a particular vertical, I think that you could make a pretty solid argument for getting some on-screen time. I mean, Dan was hired for logistics, and now I don't even know what he does anymore. But he's been on camera. You've got to turn and look at him a little bit.
I'm sitting over here. Hi.
Nice framework, Took. It always helps to suck up to the boss's investments.
It's my favorite toque.
In all seriousness, that doesn't help at all. You should be wearing LTT store merchandise.
I don't have an LTT toque.
Well, get an LTT toque.
I'll go talk to Nick Light.
I command you I don't think I can do that actually, but
Well, you can. You own the merch.
no, I don't think I
technically.
can. I don't think I can dictate what you can wear. Or wait, yeah, you can have uniforms, right?
It was dress code.
Interesting.
Basically,
You
you
can
had
even
to
make
wear
people
pants.
buy their own uniforms, can't you? Ah, yes. A new opportunity. We have 100 people working here.
You can take
That
your
is
toque back.
Immediate 100 units of sales of anything. We cracked the code. Okay, in all
Flashbacks to Geek
seriousness, our
Squad.
system is booted up here. Let's see how she games. I want to fire up. Do you have hardware info on here?
Yep.
Heck yeah! What a guy. HW info. Boop. An audio playback device has changed. Don't care. No. Sensors only. Awesome. Want to hit me with another merch message?
Sure thing. This is from Daniel G. Hey, Linus, do you think PCs in the future will go the Apple route and merge everything as a system on chip, given the advantages in efficiency it has shown?
Well, you know who did a really interesting video about that? What was the title of that one again?
I think it was like PCs need to change.
Or yeah, build a PC while you can.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, build a PC while you can. And it's not all doom and gloom, but there are some clear advantages to tighter integration. Apple really has shown the way, and yeah, I do think that the rest of the industry is absolutely taking notes. I mean, even look no further than Intel's new Xeons with that on-die, or on-package rather, high bandwidth memory, right? Is it HBM? I forget. On the delayed forever ice, whatever. I can't remember.
Oh, I don't remember if that. I vaguely feel like that was probably HBM. Yeah.
Intel 4th Gen Xeon HBM. Do they have HBM on them? Sapphire Rapids, that's the one. And yes, there's an HBM version. So basically, they have like high bandwidth memory right on the CPU. Now, obviously, for a server, that's not like enough memory. You need more memory. It's more like adding an additional tier in the hierarchy of storage. But like, it's pretty clear that this technology is being explored actively. All right. Our game library is plugged in. We should be able to play some video games. Our GPU is idling at a frosty 32 degrees, which is awesome. Let's fire up Cyberpunk here so we can run at 4K on this particular monitor. Dan, hit me.
Okay. Just purchased the screwdriver.
Nice.
What inspired you to get into making tools?
What inspired me to get into making tools was that the perfect tool didn't exist. It's like I tell the team, anytime we start developing a product, what are we adding to the conversation? And it doesn't always have to be that it's a completely new category of product. I mean, we've had so many people point out that we didn't invent screwdrivers. It's so expensive. They didn't even it's just a screwdriver. And like, yeah, obviously, I didn't say we invented screwdrivers. It's just some multi-bit ratcheting screwdrivers. It's clearly a product category that not only has existed for many years, but has had many high-quality options for many years. But what didn't exist was exactly the perfect screwdriver. So what we contributed was extremely low back force on the ratchet, along with MegaPro's excellent, super organized and satisfying bit storage, along with, in my opinion, significantly better ergonomics. My review from my uncle, I think, was my favorite. He texts me. Actually, you know what? It's text, so I still have the text. Where's my uncle's text? It's really funny. I love my uncle. He's like such a boomer, though. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We got our screwdriver. He bought a screwdriver. I was like, come on, man. I could send you a screwdriver. It's fine. It's like, no, I insist on buying it. Okay, fine. We got our screwdriver. Arrived, looks good. Hold on, there's 2 spaces between arrived and looks for no apparent reason. Looks good, did, 2 space. Not totally check it out. Are all the bits magnetic, question mark. Also, for my hand, the handle seems a little short. Have you any comments about that? And I message him back, and I go, the magnet is in the shaft and works on all the bits. The handle is meant to be a happy medium. MegaPro, our partner, makes one with a much thicker handle, but their ratchet mechanism is not as refined. Blah, 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 something. Anyway, he calls me the next day, and he goes, I want you to forget about that text I sent, because that was just based on kind of holding it. Man, I had to do a job with it today, and I tried it out, and I went, man, this is a great handle. And, the shape, he goes on for like 5 minutes. You're great. Obviously, I love hearing from him. But it was basically, we've sold over 100,000 of these things. I do know that people love the shape of the handle, but hey, it's always nice, especially when you get that feedback from someone who's not afraid to be critical. Like, that's the thing, is he was obviously not afraid to tell me, hey, here's something I think that could be improved. But then he's like, but man, when I used it, I went, wow, this is a great screwdriver. I'm never going to touch another screwdriver again. And it's actually something that we've heard a lot. We had Hacksmith show up for a collab recently, and their guys were like, yeah, we get hecked because we have our own screwdriver product, but your screwdriver keeps making its way into our videos because it's always nearby because we just really do prefer using it. So stuff like that is what we always love to hear, and that's what we set out to do, to build a multi-bit ratcheting screwdriver that just has really great ergonomics, a really great ratchet, really good feel, really good sound. The number of people who have asked us for a fidget spinner based on this mechanism, perfect balance. Those are things that don't happen by accident, right? Cyberpunk launching at some point? Oh, I was waiting for the launcher to launch first. You got to launch your launcher so you can launch your other launcher so you can launch your game. That's efficient. Maybe we should build a launcher that doesn't require all the other launchers to launch. JK, someone tried that. Steam, you still need other launchers. So why screwdriver? Same reason we do anything, because we felt like we had something to contribute to the conversation. And it doesn't have to be a new category product. It doesn't even have to be an all-new design. What did we contribute to water bottles? I mean, a cool design. We didn't invent vacuum-sealed water bottles, obviously, right? But the design is cool. You can rep your nerdiness with your water bottle. Like, it's the same reason that anyone else would make a water bottle with a cool design. So try not to overthink it, but also want to make sure that we're adding something. Sorry, I talked for too long about that. Hit me with another.
Okay, this is from Keith. Will LTX merch be available to buy for those of us who aren't able to attend LTX 2023? Gold foil t-shirt when?
Oh boy. All right. Target frames per second. No dynamic resolution scaling. Motion blur off. Wow, is this all just like automatically crank? Ultra psycho? Okay, we're not going to go psycho. We'll stick with ultra. All right, I will stop avoiding answering that question. No, our intention is not to exclude people, but we also want to, we want the LTX merch to be special. We want it to be for people who were there. A band, and obviously I don't think I'm a rock star. So yes, the analogy has problems right out of the gate. But a band doesn't make their tour shirts available online typically. So the idea is that if you have an LTX shirt and you wear it to a future LTX, we can be like, you were at LTX 19 or LTX 2023 or whatever the case may be. So whether it's LTX itself or specifically the whale LAN that is going to take place at LTX, our intention is to make the merch packs available only to attendees. From a business standpoint, obviously, yeah, it would be better to sell more shirts or whatever, but sometimes it's more important to make something about the experience of attending and being part of the event, and not just about like selling more shirts. So that's our philosophical approach to it. I know it's not going to make everybody happy, which is why I was sort of hoping to avoid talking about that, but hey, it's done now. You know what else is done now? Holy crap. Okay, hold on. I need to check and make sure that this is actually running at the resolution I think it's running at, because this is unbelievable. Holy shnikes. This is running at 4K. You guys saw me crank it. What the actual crap am I looking at? Okay, I'm obviously in a really small space here. How can I get out of here? I want to get out of here. I want to go out. Oh, look, it's Keanu. No, I want to go outside. Am I allowed to go outside? Okay, why did our save load in this spot? Can Can I leave? Can I go out? Does anyone know? Has anyone played this game? This is running, the 1% lows are 90 FPS. How do I knock him out? What's the quick melee Q? Okay, I'm supposed to knock him out. Wait, he's on fire now. What just happened? What is happening? F. Okay, V? I don't know. I don't care, I just want to go outside. Okay, I'm gonna try loading a different, here we go, outside, confirm. Okay. All right, hit me with another.
Okay, this is our last merch message.
All right.
This is from Ben. Hi, Linus. What's your opinion on the EU law that mobile batteries have to be easily changeable in the future? Will the design suffer from that? Best wishes out of Germany.
I love it, and no, I think they can design phones just fine if they're sufficiently incentivized. It's kind of like kids. If they're incentivized enough to figure it out, they'll figure it out. And same thing with really smart engineers. If they're incentivized, they'll do it. Seriously, that's the spread on this gun? It's ridiculous. Okay, who are you? Whoever. Oh, apparently you're an ally, so I'm not allowed to shoot you. But this is running amazing. My 1% lows outside are 94. Check this out. 94 FPS. This is like the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I have ray tracing cranked. Man, I'm having regrets about committing to skip this generation because this is wild. Okay, I'm in a hostile area apparently. Man, this thing is fast. And it's running at 68 degrees. Oh, hit 69. Nice. 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 This is not a merch message, but I did see Floatplane chat talking about it a fair bit. Will there be any kind of like virtual ticket for LTX? Not in terms of merch packs or anything like that, but virtual like experiences, being able to watch stage events and stuff like that are absolutely something that we are going to work toward. I don't know how much or how little I can commit right now, but we do want people to be able to experience it somewhat, and the plan is to have that streaming on Floatplane. I think that you can also expect to see some behind the scenes or exclusives from Floatplane as well. The social team, actually our entire staff is expected to be there during LTX. So anyone who's got a job is going to be doing their job at LTX, and we'll definitely have some online content, but obviously for the full experience you would want to be there. Okay, and is that it?
I mean, unless you want to play more games.
This is wild, man. Police warrant. Okay, cool. I'm going to have something to fight. I don't think we need to see more games than this, honestly. You, get out of the car. Seriously?
That was the appropriate response.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. If you're in the road for no apparent reason, then I guess that's what happens. Wow. Did I just blow up the gas station, too? Oh, shoot. So, oh, owie. What? Who's even shooting me? I did... Oh, wow. Oh, and I'm dead. But I'm dead at a lot of FPS. And 68 degrees. That CPU, though. Is that 112 degrees right? Hold on just a gosh darn minute here. That can't be right. Oh, yeah. Yep, that is one unhappy CPU. Whew. I wonder if I might have bunged something up when I bent that heat pipe. Hey, Anthony, what were your CPU temps before I did that?
Oh, we didn't check that.
You didn't check that. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I might recommend maybe changing to a different configuration for your CPU cooler. Whether it's setting that up as an intake. I wonder if that fan is even spinning, actually, at temps like that. Oh, it's spinning all right. Yeah. Whoo! Ow! But she's struggling. Yeah, I think there's just not enough room. I think we might actually have been better off if I'd gone the other way, setting it up as an exhaust. But I will leave it to you guys to figure out whether you should just. I think I would just go for a lower power CPU. I think I'd just go for like a 65 watt or something like that. I mean, it's still running at. What kind of clock speeds are we getting out of it? Yeah, it's still running at like 4.8 gigahertz right now, which, like, okay. pretty reasonable. I mean, obviously our gaming performance was still pretty good, but I don't think I would want a CPU running at those kinds of temps in the long term. All right, now we know. Now we know. Now we know that it's time to end the stream. See you later, guys.